I got here in the middle of the pandemic. I know, perfect time.
So it was March of 2020. I booked a one-way ticket going to Australia 2 days after I received my visa, and that may be the best decision I've ever made this year. I actually wanted to stay longer to spend time with my friends and family, but there was no time for that because all of the countries in the world were shutting down their borders and I had to fly as soon as I can. And I think I might be one of the last passengers to fly out of the Philippines. Imagine, the world was in chaos because of the pandemic, and there I was, just trying to make my dreams come true. And boy, I thought it was gonna be easy. Before I left the Philippines, I received a message from the landlady I was talking to that she's canceling my reservation for the room that I was going to rent. Literally homeless. But still, I pushed through even if I knew I had nowhere to stay when I arrived in Australia. Good thing my mom's friend agreed to let me stay in their house. The original plan was to stay there for 2 days because I didn't want to be a burden since I'm staying there for free. But your girl got kicked out of the Filipino house that I was supposed to transfer to because they were scared of me having the virus. I totally understand though, because if I were them, I wouldn't let me stay there too. I'd be like, bye girl, you're not welcome here. Bye. And just because I understand what happened doesn't mean I completely accepted it in my heart. It doesn't work that way because it freaking hurts to be rejected. It's a deep feeling of sadness, especially if the people doing it are your own people, your co-Filipinos. Anyway, I want to erase the feeling of being kicked out in my memories, so life went on. Even if in less than a week of me staying in Australia, I've already tried being homeless. Had a total breakdown in front of strangers, plus I was in a new place all alone. I know that's nothing compared to what people are going through right now, but I just feel like I'm allowed to feel sad about myself too. I came here and I thought I'd be traveling and meeting new people and all that shit, but it turned so wrong so fast. When everything slowly came back to normal, my school started and I tried to find a house in the city. And I found one and I moved in right away. Don't get me wrong, I loved staying in my mom's friend's house, but I just didn't want to feel like a freeloader. So, new place, new beginning. And that's what I thought again. People in the new house were not as friendly as I wanted them to be. I kept on approaching them and being ever so friendly. I tried so hard to talk to them, but I feel like they were afraid to talk to me because they were still learning English. Again, I didn't know what was up because they were literally speaking the same language, but they weren't talking to each other. I had nobody to talk to, and again, I felt alone. I didn't want to tell anyone about how I'm feeling because I don't like it when people think I'm sad. It just makes me so uncomfortable. I was so confused because it seems like from the outside I had to be happy because I was where I wanted to be and I had nothing to complain about, but still, I was sad. I cried myself to sleep, praying to God why He was making me feel that way or why I was feeling so down. I am so dramatic. I know. I had a hard time adjusting to the new life that I was in. I wanted to find a job to keep me busy, but businesses were closed and no one was hiring. I had nothing else to do, so I started cleaning the house, and I didn't mean to snoop around and be nosy, but I don't know if my housemates were just too busy to clean their rooms or. Anyway, back to the story. By this time, I was spending so much and earning nothing. There was even a point that I wanted to go home so bad because I just felt so alone. But of course, I couldn't because the borders were closed. And then I met this girl. Shout out to my girl Victoria, by the way. Woot woot. I know this is so cheesy, but she was a ray of hope in the darkest time of my life. Charut. I met her from school and she was living in a house by the city with four other roommates and her boyfriend. She was the one who offered me a place to stay, and I moved into their house right away. Since then, everything went my way. I started building my life again from the ground.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just trying to do something productive, something that I am going to be proud of myself for doing today. Something like that. So that when I go to sleep, I'm not gonna be thinking about how I wasted my day, my life. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I started my first job ever here in Australia, which is in a furniture shop. I started going out, and in no time, I started feeling myself again. I was back to being the person that I was before all of this. People might say I had it easy, but I've gone through a lot. And honestly, I thank God for letting me experience everything I had to experience to keep me grounded because turns out I had a lot of things to learn and a lot of things to reflect on.